The Bitcoin price is in free fall at the moment. We have broken below Bitcoin's 200-day moving average. Bitcoin rides above the 200-day MA in bull markets, and Bitcoin rides below its 200-day MA in bear markets. When we get that cross below, and especially confirmation of the rejection, it's showing the price trend is bearish. Just like when we cross above and then get confirmation of that breakout, it's showing the price is trending positive. So we are falling below that 200-day MA, but also just checking out the weekly, Bitcoin has broken below the 200-week MA as well, and most people don't understand the real reason why. Number one, just before the crash happened, we got the release of the Fed minutes. Fed minutes summary basically said, F you.
Courtney, the minutes from the Fed's most recent meeting show most of the participants in the meeting still saw significant upside risk to inflation that could require further tightening. So at least in that one statement there, a pretty hawkish outlook there from the Federal Reserve. But hold on before you make your immediate trades, because these minutes are a mishmash of different points of view.
Basically, in layman's terms, the Federal Reserve minutes were extremely hawkish. Looks like one more rate hike is on the table, possibly in November. While a few Fed officials did move to no hikes, they're non-voting members. As long as the FOMC stays hawkish, the dollar will stay strong, and yields are likely continue to grind higher. And case in point, like clockwork, yields soar after Fed minutes reinforce inflation risks.
We are seeing Bitcoin specifically under pressure today. Is that a direct correlation to the fact that you have Treasury yields, the 10-year testing October highs?
100%. Listen, we've come a long way this year in crypto and in Bitcoin. We had a lot of good things happen. A lot of good things get priced into the market. And one of the assumptions that risk assets keep making is that the Fed is going to finish hiking rates and then start cutting. And all of a sudden, with Japan hiking rates, their back end starts falling off. Our back end starts getting hit. And it's feeling like you're getting a washout of this bond market bubble. Maybe it's the start, maybe it's not. But that's got markets really scared. And I think you're going to see risk assets under pressure until you get some basing or bottoming of the bond market.
The risks of raising until something breaks continues to grow. And no wonder Bitcoin took a little dip. Just look at the data of the probabilities of what the market is pricing in for rate hikes. Just in. The odds of an additional rate hike this year rise to 39%, a 4-week high after the Fed minutes. And yes, we've had so much adoption, so much good news as of late, it's tough to fight the Fed.
Listen, Bitcoin has two vectors that drive price. One is adoption, like the more and more people that understand it, that like it. The ETF is the single biggest thing that will help adoption, right? Larry Fink coming out and saying, I believe in Bitcoin, which he has, right? And the largest asset manager in the world trying to get engaged. Invesco, our partner, getting engaged. There's a lot of salesmen in those places. So that's going to drive price. The other is Fed policy, right? Bitcoin went from 6,000 to 69,000 because the Fed started taking a fire hose and giving everyone money. Like, it was supposed to go up. It was also supposed to come down when Chairman Powell took out his magic hammer and started bashing inflation on the head. Right? He has been very hawkish.
Even former President Trump says he'll replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
A second Trump administration, you have to put up with Jay Powell. What would you do about that? And would you think about reappointing him or speaking with him, or how would you handle that? Because interest rates can be important tools to stop inflation, but they can also destroy growth.
Yeah, I would not reappoint him. I thought he was always late. Whether it was good or bad, but he was always late.
Which brings us to reason two, the real reason Bitcoin is crashing. Unpopular opinion, Bitcoin needed to crash, and we're just getting started. Crypto got crazy attention these last 60 days. The BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF announcement, the upcoming Bitcoin halving 2024 talk, spurred by the Litecoin halving, and also huge Ripple winning an historic battle versus the SEC. All this happening in the same 60-day window, and the coverage was euphoric. That should be a little red flag for all those long-term subscribers of the channel. Because while all this is incredibly bullish long-term, In retrospect, it was the perfect local top signal. Just like the Coinbase IPO coverage back in April of 2021, just like Paris Hilton shilling her Bored Ape on The Tonight Show, also just like when CNBC back in December of 2017, actually I think this maybe January 4th of 2018. But either way, at the top of the market, CNBC teaching you how to buy XRP, all classic top signals. Also keep in mind this, most other channels won't share this with you, I will, that while the BlackRock news hit June 15th and the Ripple Victory news hit July 13th, most institutional insiders bought 6 months before the announcement. Now they're taking profits, now they're mitigating their risk. Which brings us to the third reason, the real reason Bitcoin is crashing. And the bigger question, will Bitcoin go back to 20K? Are we going lower? Well, first, let's look at recent altcoin news. The SEC has officially filed its motion for leave to file an interlocutory appeal in the Ripple case, meaning that the SEC still believes that XRP in all accounts should be a security, and they're pushing back appealing in our legal system. Also, let's check back in on sponsor of the channel XCAD, an update on our earnings. So we have been covering them for the last 2 months now. It is an app/extension that allows you to earn cryptocurrency just by watching YouTube. For a full explanation on how that works, check out our dedicated video, linked down below. So on the last update, I did mint a legendary nerd, which is their top nerd, allows people to earn the most crypto per day just by watching YouTube. So the update today is we've been watching 5 videos every day, earning for the last few weeks. In total, over 63,000 play tokens today, roughly worth $4.61,000 US. And if you want to do this, all you do is scroll down, click the video you want to watch. You do have to watch at least 80% of the video, keep that in mind. And once you're done, you should get a similar notification letting you know that the video is watched. But you can always double check in your watch history and see what was recorded. Link down below, check it out. And then also, huge piece of crypto news. Just realized that today, Friday the 18th in the US, Grayscale could get their ETF approval. Because while many other Bitcoin ETF applications, the decisions got pushed, Grayscale is in a slightly different place.
There is a judge's decision in the case that Grayscale has against the SEC on their ETF application, and people thought that might break this week. And if the judge rules in Grayscale's favor, the thought process is that there's going to be an acceleration from the SEC to approve the BlackRock and Invesco and other ETFs. And so that's where the excitement came from. We haven't gotten it. Rates are creeping higher, pressure on assets.
And by the way, we did not get any such ruling. It's still a mystery if Grayscale will get approved. Although this info may have leaked and people are going to try and long GBTC and short Bitcoin. So the GBTC discount is down, aka people are buying GBTC, while the Bitcoin spot price is down, aka people are selling Bitcoin right away, possibly to pocket that arbitrage. In my opinion, we do need to see this GBTC discount get bought up in full, get back to a premium eventually, because why would more traditional investors buy regular Bitcoin when they could just buy GBTC today at a 25% discount? And I do just have to mention, this is a warning, if you're invested in crypto, this has probably happened to you. Have you ever received a DM from a random person asking you about crypto?
And it actually just started with one of those wrong number text messages that we all get. It said like, hey David, this is Vicky, like, what's up? Which is obviously not my name. And I just decided to play along. And it turned out that these texts are come-ons for crypto scams. They try and convince you to trade with them. And then people really send huge sums of money and it all gets stolen. But then the really crazy part is the people who are on the other side of the phone sending these messages.
Well, that person is not just a scammer. He or she is a crypto.
Yeah, so it turns out the messages are mainly sent by people in Southeast Asia who are themselves victims of human trafficking. There are like whole office buildings full of people who are threatened with beatings, electric shocks, or even death. Chinese gangsters are often running these places, and these crypto slaves are spent working around the clock sending these spam text messages to you. It's truly, truly awful.
And final reason Bitcoin is actually dumping, the real reason, Bitcoin flushed through 28K because we had so little volume in the market. With so little volume, stop losses triggering can cause an outsized move, aka flash crash. Also rumors that Elon Musk's SpaceX dumped their holdings, which exasperated the selling and increased the dump with so few buyers available. Actually, this stemmed when Bitcoin Magazine tweeted, "Breaking, Elon Musk's SpaceX sold its $373 million of Bitcoin per the Wall Street Journal." Elon Musk selling his Bitcoin went viral fast. Turns out that may not have been exactly true. I guess there is no evidence to support this tweet claiming that over $300 million of Bitcoin was sold by SpaceX. The Wall Street Journal did not say SpaceX sold that much worth of Bitcoin. Yet, this was tweeted yesterday when Bitcoin was already dumping, which added to the chaos. Be sure to join us at Bitcoin Amsterdamn. Ticket prices do increase in 6 days, so use Altcoin Daily, code Altcoin Daily for 10% off your ticket.